Hi everyone, this is John here from TechTV101.com, and here we have the HTC Evo 3D. HTC's first iteration of a 3D enabled or 3D capturing smartphone. So to start, we will do a physical tour of the phone. So up the top we've got our 3.5mm headphone jack, we've got our power on off button, also a lock button. On the right hand side, surprisingly, we have the volume rocker, which is usually on your left, but for some reason they've switched it to the right, maybe for the ease of zoom in and out for the camera, because obviously, as you can see down here, which is quite unique, we have a standalone, not only a standalone camera shutter button for the camera, but we also have a switch to switch between the 2D and the 3D modes on the phone. So more on that later. So on the bottom we have a little hole for a lanyard and also a little microphone spot, and then on the side we have the micro USB charging port. Now on the back, this is the bit that everyone catches everyone's eye. It's the dual 5 megapixel camera with dual flash. And in here then we've got our little speaker grill. The back has actually got a rubber finish, and it's also got a kind of an etched finish, which is quite nice. It's also the same for the buttons on the side. We've got the little etched finish on those too, which is cool. I like it. The phone is quite weighty in the hand. It's quite a bit heavier than the HTC Sensation, but still nice to hold. Not as bulky as I first thought it would be. So down here we've got a little home button, menu button, back button, search button. Again, no actual English language on there, just to make it more internationally appealing. And that's pretty much it. We've got a little front-facing camera, 1.3 megapixel, and then our speaker grill with all this different proximity sensors and light sensors. So now we just go on and lock the phone. As you can see, it's running HTC Sense 3.0 with its little lock ring and its quick shortcuts to phone and to music and whatever else you'd like to set up there. So we just quickly unlock the phone. I have a timer going there in the background. But as you can see, it's your usual HTC setup with a large iconic clock at top, and then all my different folders and apps. It's got the carousel effect as well, which is quite nice, and I feel ever so slightly smoother than the HTC Sensation. One flick and it sets the spinner off, which just kind of shows the power of the phone. It has a gig of memory and also a gig of RAM, which is very impressive. The screen itself is a QHD screen. Its resolution is 540 by 960. The Q in QHD obviously stands for quarter HD, so this is 1/4 of a segment of a full HD resolution. But to me, I don't really see why you'd want to update or to make a screen more higher resolution, because this is just perfect. It's more than enough on a little handheld device. We obviously still have our little notification bar up top with our quick settings. This is running Android 2.3.4. which is quite smooth and it runs perfect, and as we all know, HTC Sense is one of the best skins put atop the Android operating system. So now if we can go to the camera, I know you obviously won't be able to see the full 3D effect, but we'll give it a go anyways. So let's say I think it's currently on 2D, so I'll just give it a click over and it changes over to 3D, and it's gone quite blurry now, but there we go, it's focused up. So you can see a kind of a Nintendo, if you ever played with a Nintendo DS, it's along the same lines of a stereoscopic screen, so each eye is getting a different image, but the margin between the images is so thin that it's centimeters what makes the difference between a blurry image and a 3D image. I first thought it would just be more so of depth 3D, but to be honest, it's definitely a lot more, not only depth but protrusion as well. Here, I'll just show you a quick example. I have a photo of a Jack Skellington figure. Actually, let's see if I can find him. He's in here. We'll pop Jack up. So I took the photo of Jack in 3D, and as you can see him moving on the screen there, but for one-on-one basis, when you're holding the phone yourself and you see the image, not only is Jack's sword poking out, but the depth then back in behind him. So it is actually quite effective. So with all this fancy trickery and magic, you can understand the battery of this Evo 3D is quite poor. I have only opened the phone and charged it a couple of times now, so it's still obviously going to be in its early days. It'll take a while for it to find its feet, but still, from what I've read online, I'm fearing not the best battery, seeing as I had a Sensation before this, and the Sensation battery was surprisingly good for a smartphone. But I'll just have to wait and see how this goes. I haven't had it on any long journeys yet, and I haven't used it I haven't used it a lot all in one day. I've kind of been quite sparing with it as I've been working, but we'll just have to wait and see. Other than that, it is your usual standalone HTC fare. You've got your HTC watch also embedded in, so if you can get a little trailer going here for you. That was going on there. We'll just play Jackass 3D for a second and show you. It is an amazing screen, and you've got your SRS surround sound, which also adds something quite a lot, I feel, to the audio on the phone. So yeah, that's the screen, which is very impressive for watching any media on. Also, it's got its 3D games, so in here I have got my Asphalt 3D and also Spider-Man 3D. Again, there's not much point showing you those, as you won't be able to really see the true 3D effects, but they are quite impressive as well. You can actually see quite a lot of 3D depth again in the games. So yeah, that's our TechTV101.com review of the HTC Evo 3D. People will love it or they'll hate it. They might find the 3D a gimmick, but it's fun, it's a conversation starter if anything, and it'll be interesting to see where HTC go from here. Thanks for watching.